Imagine looking at a lush green landscape today and returning years later to find nothing but dry, cracked soil stretching to the horizon. Rivers have disappeared, crops no longer grow, and dust storms regularly fill the sky. It may sound like a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie, but this transformation is already happening in some parts of the world. Climate change is one of the greatest environmental challenges of our time. While most people associate it with rising temperatures, melting glaciers, and stronger storms, another major consequence often goes unnoticed: the gradual expansion of deserts. But can climate change actually create new deserts? The answer is yes, although the process is slow and involves several factors working together. To understand this, we first need to know what a desert really is. Many people think deserts are simply places covered in sand with extremely hot temperatures. In reality, scientists define a desert by one main characteristic: the amount of rainfall it receives. A region that gets less than about 250 millimeters or 10 inches of rain each year is considered a desert. This is why Antarctica, despite being covered in ice, is actually the world's largest desert because it receives very little precipitation. Deserts form naturally through Earth's climate system. Around 30 degrees north and south of the equator, large bands of high-pressure air cause dry air to sink toward the surface. Since sinking air prevents clouds from forming, very little rain falls in these regions. Mountains can also create deserts through the rain shadow effect. As moist air rises over mountains, it cools and releases its rain on one side. By the time the air reaches the other side, it is dry, leaving the land with little rainfall. Cold ocean currents can have a similar effect by cooling the air and reducing evaporation, making rain even less likely. Climate change is now altering these natural systems. As greenhouse gases trap more heat in the atmosphere, Earth's average temperature continues to rise. Warmer air can hold more moisture, changing where and when rain falls. Some regions experience heavier rainfall and flooding, while others become increasingly dry. Weather patterns that once brought regular rain begin to shift, causing longer droughts and shorter rainy seasons. Over time, areas that once supported forests, grasslands, or farms may receive less and less water. Higher temperatures make the problem even worse because they increase evaporation. Water disappears more quickly from lakes, rivers, and soil. Plants lose moisture faster through a process called transpiration. Even if rainfall stays nearly the same, the extra heat can dry the land because water evaporates before plants have a chance to use it. As the soil loses moisture, plants struggle to survive, and once vegetation disappears, the land becomes even hotter and drier because there are no plants to provide shade or retain water. Scientists call this gradual process desertification. Desertification does not mean a sandy desert suddenly appears overnight. Instead, fertile land slowly loses its ability to support life. Grass dies, crops fail, and the rich topsoil that took centuries to form is carried away by wind or washed away during heavy rains. Eventually, the land becomes barren and difficult to recover. Human activities often speed up this process. Cutting down forests removes trees that help recycle water back into the atmosphere. Overgrazing by livestock destroys the grasses that protect the soil. Poor farming methods leave the ground exposed to erosion, while excessive pumping of groundwater lowers water levels beneath the surface. Combined with climate change, these activities create a cycle where dry land becomes even drier over time. Several regions around the world are already experiencing these changes. The Sahel region of Africa, located just south of the Sahara Desert, has suffered repeated droughts for decades. Parts of southern Europe are becoming hotter and drier, with longer heat waves and reduced rainfall. The western United States has experienced severe droughts that have lowered reservoir levels and increased the frequency of wildfires. Australia has also faced prolonged dry periods that have damaged ecosystems and agriculture. Similar trends are appearing in parts of Asia and South America, where changing rainfall patterns threaten farmland and water supplies. These environmental changes affect much more than the landscape. Plants adapted to wetter conditions begin to disappear, while animals lose their habitats and food sources. Some species migrate to cooler regions, while others cannot adapt quickly enough and face extinction. As biodiversity declines, entire ecosystems become less stable. People are affected just as seriously. Farmers struggle to grow crops, livestock have less food and water, and communities face increasing shortages of clean water. Food production decreases, causing prices to rise. In many regions, families are forced to leave their homes in search of more fertile land or reliable water sources. Scientists estimate that billions of people already live in areas vulnerable to land degradation and desertification. So, can climate change truly create new deserts? Yes, but it is usually a gradual transformation rather than a sudden event. If an area experiences many years of reduced rainfall, higher temperatures, and ongoing land degradation, it can eventually meet the scientific definition of a desert. More often, existing deserts slowly expand into neighboring regions, turning once productive land into dry landscapes. Fortunately, this future is not unavoidable. Around the world, scientists and communities are working to restore degraded land. Planting trees, protecting forests, improving farming methods, and using water more efficiently can all help slow or even reverse desertification. Projects such as Africa's Great Green Wall aim to restore millions of hectares of damaged land by planting vegetation that stabilizes the soil and helps retain moisture. Sustainable agriculture, careful water management, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions all play an important role in protecting vulnerable landscapes. Every individual can also contribute by conserving water, reducing waste, supporting sustainable farming practices, planting native trees, and making environmentally responsible choices. While these actions may seem small, millions of people making better decisions can have a significant impact. Climate change does not instantly transform green forests into endless deserts. Instead, it slowly changes rainfall patterns, increases temperatures, dries out the soil, and weakens ecosystems over many years. When combined with unsustainable human activities, these changes can reshape entire landscapes. The choices humanity makes today will determine whether fertile land continues to support life or gradually fades into the deserts of tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating science topics, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next discovery. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.